I need to ask this. People are worried about dollars. Gold is rising. US, the balance sheet is bloated. No one knows will what happens to the US, what happens to the dollars. That's like a a pain point or a nagging worry which is there for the investors. You are in the center of this dollar trade and everything. How do you see this picture? Is there a real concern for worry? Or if such an incident were to happen, when it will happen? Are there previous examples of, let's say, UK or some other country passing through similar phase? And please enlighten my audience about their worries on existence of US dollars.
It's a very big question. Okay. So let's understand what's happening in US dollar from big point of view and from historic point of view. And then we see interaction points. So the key reason why people are uncomfortable with US dollar is the fact that we've seen US dollar depreciating recently. I want to highlight to people remember that since COVID, US dollar had appreciated by almost 15%. And even after current depreciation, it is close to long-term average. So in pure mathematical term point of view, there is no sharp depreciation in US dollar. Having said that, I fully acknowledge people begin concerned of US dollar principally because the US fiscal deficit is at 6.4% approximately, which is not sustainable. What's fiscal deficit is very simple. Expenditure 7 trillion, income 5 trillion, therefore fiscal deficit 2 trillion. That's the basic problem in US. What does it mean? Theoretically, please don't panic, listen carefully. Theoretically, it means certain point in time, they will run out of the money to pay. Does it actually happen? Answer is not really. I tell you why. First, what is sustainable level of fiscal deficit in US? Approximately 4%, being 2% growth rate, 2% inflation. Now, if you're going to have a fiscal deficit, it means that debt to GDP of the country will increase. When debt to GDP of the country increases and reaches a point of 2 times debt to GDP, after that point, it's very difficult for the economy to grow. That is, for example, what happened in Japan in 1980s, 90s. And that's what Japan is struggling in terms of growth. When would the US hit that 2 times debt to GDP ratio? Around 2045 to 2050. So we still have time to go. Do not panic.